Hello everyone. No, don't adjust your set. I'm not going to be opening a Hoover Whirlwind Evo. Well, I sincerely hope not, because they're a pile of poo, I think. Well, I've never had one and I don't want one. From the reviews I've read, they're not very good. But what's in here is a Hoover from a different era. Hoover was starting to fail when this machine was in the shops, but it's still a damn sight better than the Hoovers you can buy now. Made in China. This one at least is made in good old Cambuslang, Scotland. And yes, it is yellow. Very, very yellow. Yes, and a little bit dirty, but nothing a little bit of a clean won't sort. Right, oh, it's just jammed it in. I hope it survived, because the last Turbopower 2 I unboxed, well, the last one you've probably seen me unbox was a red model, and the chassis had broken. Only in a small place, but it was enough. And I think I'm not very hopeful about this, to be honest. Not very hopeful at all. But oh, let's have a look. Let's take the hose out. It might make it easier. Oh, if I can take the hose off the back. We have a hose. There is some tools missing on this, but because this is a later model, the tools should be black, and I can source some genuine tools. Oh, it won't. It doesn't want to come out of the box. Hang on. It's getting caught. There, come on. Have you survived? Oh, it is very yellow. It's the vacuum a minion would choose, isn't it? Oh, crikey. Well, as long as it's going to be in one piece, which I'll soon find out, this is going to clean up to an almost mint condition, I feel. Yes, it's dirty, but I don't mind a bit of dirt. We don't mind a bit of dirt on this channel, do we? No, I'm not fearful of dirt. I am fearful of vacuums blowing up, and I am fearful of finding things broken. But so far, let's have a quick look before I get my hopes up. This is where they break in post. Let's have a look. Oh, wow, everything seems fine. Great. So far so good. Let's hope it works. Let's pop on the handle. I'll just undo the screw, just a single screw for this. Oh, is that? Oh, it'll do. It's not the right size bit, but it'll do. It'll do. There we are. Do the screw up. Dum-de-dum. I'll just change the bit, folks, because it was struggling. I think it needs a larger Phillips head on there. Oh, that's it. Oops, it's... There we are. That'll do. Pop the... No, I don't know if this had a tube with it. I'm not sure. I'll check on the... No, it probably only had... I might have the bits I need for this, but I think I can still get, because this is black, I can still get a black tube extension wand, a black dusting brush. Not sure if this came with a crevice tool. There's a space for the dusting brush. Little bit mucky, but that's in pretty good shape. That's a good nozzle, that's what a good nozzle looks like, a good upholstery nozzle. Anyway, well, as good as Hoover got, in my opinion. Surprisingly, it's missing the doobie because, you know, they do stay in pretty well, these. They don't tend to pop out. So this, we'll have a look at the rating plate, see if somebody can date it for me. It's late. It's a late model. This is a Turbopower 2 900 watt, and this would have been in Hoover's lineup as a budget priced cleaner. I saw these certainly in Index and possibly Argos stores and mail order catalogues. I've got a few like this. In fact, it's very similar to the red. It'd be interesting to see. Anyway, the model is U2090. Oh, that's coming loose. I'll have to re-stick that, or possibly it's never been stuck on in the correct place in the first place. But anyway, let's have a bit of a closer look at the Turbopower 2. Switch it on. If it works, well, I think it's going to be a thumbs up. Here's the brush roll. Genuine. Brush type 2, does it say? These had all sorts of different colour brush rolls, these machines. It will certainly need, methinks, a new belt. I might get, that's quite battered. It's possibly been used on a hard floor. I think, still buy a new base plate thing for it, so I might get one, because that's quite, yeah, it's quite rough, that. But we've got the old Hoover activator brush roll, and being a later model, we've got the removable cover that you can take off without tools in case it gets blocked, which apparently they frequently did. None of mine ever blocked up, but it is quite a narrow air path here, so things could get clogged. Now the way things get clogged, vacuums get clogged because you pick up something that you shouldn't, and it tends to get wedged in. So you might pick up a paper clip or a twig or cotton bud or something like that, and it manages to pick it up, but it gets wedged into the channel, and it won't block it. It'll still start picking up, but as you use the machine, a build-up of muck starts to gather around whatever blocked it, and then it eventually will block the whole thing. So Hoover obviously knew that this blocked, because that's why they adapted it so you could unblock it without having to get your screwdriver out. I have a few of these now, and you know, this is more or less the same as the red version, but I'm a sucker for Hoovers made in the UK, and I saw this. It was on eBay auction starting at £29. I was the only bidder. Nobody else wanted it, so I got it for £29 plus postage. And you know, I probably would have gone, I would have gone up to about £80 for this, you know, which is possibly what it sort of cost when it was new. But nobody else wanted this Minion Hoover, so it's gone to a good home. That does, yeah. I'm going to turn it on, but I think that brush roll will, the brush roll's fine. It's just the belt will have certainly loosened in storage. Let's have a quick look at the old rating plate here. So it's Hoover model U2090 serial number 37639713991000462, and it says made in EC, but I'm pretty sure these were still being made in Cambuslang, Scotland. And it's got a PCEE 650 to 700 watt, Pmax 800 to 900 watts. Here's the cleaner head in pretty good shape, just a few light scratches, and I'm pleased to say that all the graphics on the hood are in tip-top condition. The Turbopower 2 graphic there, the edge cleaning, the height control graphic too, they're fine. Speaking of height control, here it is. We've got 4 different positions. The highest position for your long pile carpet and when using the hose and accessories. Then we've got another position for long to medium pile and hard floors. And you've got your sort of short to medium pile carpet. And then finally, the lowest setting is for your very short pile or stuck down carpet and carpet tiles. Just here, we've got the exhaust vent, which I'll expose now. Let's lay the machine in its low cleaning position. And, you know, budget now, they've not colour matched. We've just got a black grille here. And that will need replacing. That's black with the old carbon dust. Well, yes, you can still get new filters for this. And here at the bottom of the bag door, we've got the Royal Seal of Approval by appointment to Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, manufacturers of vacuum cleaners and laundry equipment, Hoover Limited, Merthyr Tydfil. Further up the bag door, we've got the blanking piece that would have been a piston bag check indicator on the very first generation of the Turbopower 2s. And a little bit further up, it's showing 900 watts, 4-stage micro filtration, and here is the bag door release button. Here's the bag door, looking a little bit dirty. Oh, we've got a date wheel. We like to identify things, don't we, from the date wheel. This particular part, it doesn't date the assembled vacuum, but this particular part was manufactured in 1993. In March 1993, this came off the production line. And here's the bag, probably not genuine. No, not genuine at all. And there's no bag slide. I'm not sure if these would have had reusable bags at this stage, because I know Hoover did away with the reusable bags for the later bagged models. You just had to throw away the bag. Earlier models, of course, had the resealable bags. I'll be using those H18 fleece bags in this, but that does smell. But apart from a non-gen bag, it isn't too dirty in here. We can see one of the pre-motor filters, the sponge. I've got some spares of those, I think, somewhere. And then under the sponge, another, but not, I don't think that's a carbon filter in this one. It's another sort of material, but underneath that, that's quite clean, isn't it? I don't think this vacuum's had too much use. Even the top side isn't that dirty. So hopefully not a lot of dust will have got inside the motor thanks to these filters. So I'll just pop those back. These are pretty easy to take apart and clean up. I did it with my red one. Yeah, that's quite modular design. Obviously made to be assembled quickly on the production line, making them cheap to produce, less man hours to manufacture, and obviously they can pass that saving on by offering a cheaper vacuum. But as we know, vacuums on the whole now, the majority of vacuums you can buy in the UK and probably most of the world are made in China. Not all, but say the majority. We do, of course, have some quality machines still made. Well, there's Pneumatic, obviously, still made in the UK, and German manufacturers tend to make decent vacuum cleaners still. So that's that. Not a lot more I can show you apart from the push button on off, a little blanking piece here that would have had a red bag check indicator light, but obviously this is lowest of the low, bottom of the heap, so everything's been stripped down to the bare essentials, even down to the removal of the Hoover roundel. Now I don't think that's missing. I'm pretty sure this budget Turbopower 2 never had the roundel, but it's still got the place where the roundel would have been. On the back we can see the cord storage, so we've got a top hook that does rotate to release the entire cable in one go, and we've got the lower storage hook which also doubles up as your carry handle, And if you have any trouble with your vacuum, we've got the Hoover helpline 08705 400 600, open 7 days a week. If you want to call it, if you're in the UK, give them a ring, see what happens. I'm not going to bother, but it's probably a different number. And we can see some of the tools, the onboard hose with the old style handle end. It's not curved like on some of the models, and the small bore hose as well, again prone to blocking. It would have had a black extension wand. I'm not sure if it had a scabbard tool, but it certainly would have had the black extension wand there, and it would have had the dusting brush. Although it is a budget model, there is a space for a dusting brush. Pretty sure it would have had the dusting brush. So that goes there. There is another little bit of a moulding. Oops, there we are. Just here. Now this was fitted. Now this machine came after Turbopower 3. Turbopower 3 had a stair cleaning hose. This obviously is not a stair cleaning hose. It will not reach anywhere near the top of a flight of stairs. The Turbopower 3 and possibly the Turbopower 1000 had a stair cleaning hose, and this part here had a little retainer that stopped the machine from toppling when you're using the extra long hose. While I've got the cleaner on my knee, just point out the handle release there. And that's about it. That's all I can show you, apart from switching the cleaner on. Fingers crossed it works, because it's in pretty good shape. I'm very happy with it so far. I think I'm getting a bit more adventurous in my old age, because you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to switch the machine on at the cleaner, not at the wall. I'm going to live dangerously. Why not? But don't you do it, kids. Don't you play about with electrics. If you don't know the history of the vacuum, it's probably best to switch it on outside, and obviously switch it on at the wall socket and not at the cleaner. But you know, I've had a good life. Who cares if I get blown up? Well, I do actually. Right. Ooh. It is with trepidation. Not quite a perfect match, but they'll do. Now Daisy, oh, I'm a bit worried for Daisy. She's in the background watching, as she always does. She's my very first viewer. Okay. Oh, she's not bad. She's a bit, you know. She smells, but that'll be that bag, I think, mainly. Yeah, they're noisier. I think they are noisier, these versions, to the earlier ones. Don't know whether it's the agitator or the motor that's a little bit poorly. It's not bad. It's not bad. I'm going into my drawer. You know what this is, don't you? Yes. We'll have a quick look out of interest. See where it reaches on the suction gauge. Well, I make that about 61, which may be improved slightly when there's new filters and a new fleece bag installed. Might get up to 63, 65, but that's, you know, it's pretty respectable suction for an upright vacuum. Right, well, let's give this Minion. This is the colour of a Minion. I need to put some eyes on, don't I? Or one eye. Yes, we could have the eye here, couldn't we? Well, that's worth thinking about. Okay, right, I'll pop it on that setting there. I think the brush will stall. It's going to need a new belt for sure. Yes, definitely a new belt is required. Oh, you know, for a budget machine, I've said this before, it's still pretty well made, you know. It's amazing what we get used to. You know, I've used a load of vacuum cleaners. I've shown you on my channel. But obviously I've been using vacuum cleaners for many years before YouTube, before I showed you vacuums, before I shared my unusual interest. So I've handled an awful lot of vacuum cleaners, and I can tell when something feels well made. And yeah, these were budget and they were pretty cheap back in the day, in the 90s, but it's still a solid vacuum. Just have a look at the agitator going round. See if I can stop it with my hand. I don't recommend you do this at home, folks. Actually, that's not bad at all, really. Pretty good. So possibly it needs to be on a higher setting. I just couldn't hear the rumble of the agitator. Let's go up one and just have another quick go. Well, yes, that's not bad. I'm still going to fit a new belt. I'm still going to strip this machine down a bit. I'm not going to go into too much trouble with this. I'm just going to take it apart slightly, give the agitator a good clean, bit of lubrication, new belt, new filters, obviously a new fleece bag, and I'll just generally clean it up all inside, get rid of that musty sort of cigarette smell that this particular, I don't think it's gone yellow with the nicotine. This was the colour. It was. It's quite a cheerful colour, isn't it, for a vacuum? Nice bright yellow. Brightens up your housework, doesn't it? I still think they're a good machine, considering one of the last decent Hoover upright cleaners, in my opinion and my experience. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you have any comments or questions about this Turbopower 2, please comment below, and I'll see you all for the next video, which will follow very soon. Bye for now.